them?
Aw, I didn't get to hear Jack.
Missiles are approaching target. I am
Ah! I'm gonna do that again.
countdown to impact.
Okay, now, shockwave.
Take
Pull, and... oh, that's it, they're dead. Okay, I was gonna say pull and throw, but they're dead. Whoa, dude, fucking what? What just happened? Well, that was kind of slow of me, wasn't it? Ready, cover, go! Okay, instead of throwing him this time, let's pull him? Okay, that didn't work. Let me try it. Okay, that didn't work either. Fucking balls. God damn it. Throw him. Going out to the sea, is that what you said? Fuck. You fucko. There. See, that's what I was trying to do earlier. You idiot. Oh my god, he's not dead yet. Thank you. Okay, I don't know if we have time to get through all this stuff. Oh, god damn! You scared the crap out of me, sir. Oh, stop doing that! Shepard. God damn it, you bastard. Oh, is this where we go? I think this is. Holy fuck. Ha. Ha, he says. Oh yeah? Laugh it up, fuzzball. Actually, you're not a fuzzball at all. Who would it be appropriate to call fuzzball in this mythology? Nobody, really. Humans, I guess. Humans are the fuzziest. Why am I the only one down here? Nice. Okay, I think we have time to... yeah, there we go. Okay, we did. Whew. Okay, some hacking. Under pressure.
There is only one remaining kill switch code. Therefore, only one missile can be stopped. Use the kill switch code to save your selected target.
Spaceport Industrial District, Missile Target 1, Spaceport Industrial District. Apply kill switch to protect Alliance interests and tactical viability, albeit at the cost of hundreds of lives in the city. Residential District, Capital City. Apply kill switch here to save the city and hundreds of lives. With its industrial area destroyed, however, this colony will no longer be viable and will have to be evacuated. Ooh, that's a tough one, because they said if this thing gets set back, if this colony gets set back, it'll be a huge blow for this, for Alliance expansion in the system. I mean, the obvious decision is save the lives, right? But by setting colonization in this sector back, you might actually be costing lives. Possibly. No, I can't. I don't know if I can even. I don't even know if I can justify that. Yeah, save the lives.
Done.
The colony has to be redone, then the colony has to be redone. Bzzzt. Thanks for your help, guys. What? Oh. Oh, okay, good. I can go check and see if there's anything that I missed. Which I'm pretty sure there is, because I blew right through that middle part. This part. Don't really need the ammo, though, do I? Okay, this was a dead end. Ah, there's some power cells. Okay, that was worth it. Is that it? Just the power cells? I guess so. Okay, I think we're done here. Yeah, we did okay without being able to overload anybody's shields there. Prevented Batarian radicals from destroying colony on Franklin. Protect colony's residential core. Thousands of lives saved. Yeah, that was the way to go. 156 experience, 7,500 credits, and 2,000 palladium. Well, next we have a choice between Firewalker, Overlord, Lord. I have a problem saying the word Overlord. I think I want to say Overload, and then I remember I have to put an R in there somewhere. Or some of the loyalty missions. I think, even though it's a bit out of the way, I know I said I would do Overlord next because it's closest. We gotta explore the rest of this. But I'm thinking, well, we'll see. I might change my mind between now and when we get to the Galaxy menu. I'm thinking I might go do Firewalker, because Firewalker requires you to fly around to other planets, and if I'm going to be flying around the galaxy, I might as well have Firewalker in my back pocket, rather than fly around the galaxy, then do Firewalker, then have to fly around the galaxy again. Does that make sense? Crick! Perhaps named for Crick of Watson and Crick. Known for its spectacular geysers that can be seen from orbit, Crick is a rock planet with expansive frozen oceans. Though it is within the temperature and pressure range for human habitation, its thick atmosphere is largely carbon dioxide, monoxide, and monoxide, making breath masks or environmental suits mandatory. The most abundant resources for exploitation are the potassium salts found in its seabeds, which fetch good prices on terraforming worlds. Oh, do I even care anymore about this stuff? I've got so much. I don't even know that there's that many upgrades left, and I could, if I ever got upgrades, go find more elements if I needed them. In fact, after this plan, that's what I'm going to say I'm going to do. I will give up on scanning and only go get elements if I need them. I know at the very beginning I said that I would only do planet scanning off screen because it's kind of a bullshit little mini game. So I apologize that I haven't held true to that, but it would be kind of a pain in the ass for me to have to do that. I know it's a pain in the ass if you guys have to sit through it, but I think we've compromised moderately well by saying I will only scan planets that are rich, and I will only scan them until they are no longer rich. It kind of minimizes the time that I'm doing it. And so far I haven't had a problem with having enough elements, so I think it's okay. Ah, yeah, Watson. Watson and Crick. Watson is known in human media for two things. Its spectacular tides brought on by a large moon, and the bureaucratic snafu over which Earth nations got to settle there first. Watson is a garden world, first discovered in 2165 CE, with credit claimed by the Chinese People's Federation, the United North American States, and the European Union. The system of I'm having problems with my mouth today. The Systems Alliance brokered the infamous Reykjavik Compromise, allowing limited colonization from each coalition in cities comprised of populations from each nation. Watson itself trends colder than Earth, with a temperate zone measuring about 30 degrees latitude in either direction from the equator. its life does not easily map to Earth's evolutionary eras. Some islands have species that resemble terrestrial placental mammals, others are overrun by arthropods. It is estimated that at least 2 or more generations of xenozoologists will be needed to properly classify all the species of the planet. Really? Just 2 generations? For an entire planet's ecosystem? You figure we've had some form of zoology and biology for, in a serious sense, at least since Darwin, which was 170 years ago? 150 years ago? Really, we've been doing it since Linnaeus and Lamarck, and that's more like 200 years ago. So that'd be, if you figure a generation every 20-something years, that's like 10 generations. They're saying they classify the entire planet in 2. I'd be very surprised. Also, it doesn't list any habitation here. I thought it said that it has... Yeah, it's got human colonization. Why does it not have population information? Not sure. Oh, it's good. I don't need to bother. Let's not molest the life forms. Darwin. Speaking of Darwin. A mid-sized rock planet, Darwin is ironically named, being one of the worst places for life in the galaxy. Its atmosphere is punishing, its temperature boiling, its chemical makeup toxic. Carbon monoxide and methane wrap the planet in an unyielding haze, and scans of its surface show only silicates and molten tin. Its daily thermal fluctuations lead to hurricane-level vortices, 2 at each pole, forming eyes that can be seen from orbit. Despite all this, Darwin is still used by spacers as a drive core discharge point. Hydrogen pierces the clouds in the upper atmosphere, making for a relatively benign approach. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. Unless she tells me I have an anomaly, I don't even need to bother checking these planets, do I? My new policy on scanning. Whoa, that's bright. Wallace. Named for Alfred Russel Wallace, co-discoverer, often forgotten co-discoverer of the theory of natural selection, was actually the second person to discover it, but discovered it independently of Darwin. This is a little anthropology lesson for y'all, because I learned this in anthropology. I actually had to give a report on Alfred Russel Wallace, so I have a particular affinity for the poor man, because he is just as potential a historical figure as Darwin, but because he didn't publish before Darwin did, he doesn't get the fame. But actually, he discovered the theory of natural selection. He developed the hypothesis of natural selection independent of Darwin. Darwin did develop it first, but was sitting on it for a long time. And then the reason that he ended up publishing is because he heard from his colleagues that this Australian, Alfred Russel Wallace, was barking up a similar tree, theoretically speaking, and was on his way to publishing. And Darwin was like, oh shit, I gotta get this shit out in public or I won't be known for it. And so he scrambled to publish, managed to publish first before Russel Wallace, and as a result, Darwin is the one we speak of in history. But Alfred Russel Wallace, just as integral a scientific mind to the theory of evolution by natural selection as Darwin. He's unfortunately just a historic footnote, but the man deserves as much recognition as does Darwin. Let's see. An unusually small Pegasid, or hot Jupiter, Wallace was originally an extrasolar planet that entered this system and was captured by the gravity well of the G-class star Skepsis. Tidally locked, Wallace's hot side reaches temperatures over 2,500 degrees Celsius. While not large enough proportionate to the star to cause eclipses visible from Watson, it can easily be seen at dawn or dusk as one of the brightest objects in the sky. You may wonder why an anthropology major would be studying Alfred Russel Wallace in anthropology class. The reason is because in my human evolution class, which is a branch of anthropology, we of course had a very heavy biological and evolutionary lean in that class. So that was a big part of what we talked about, and one of my reports that I had to do in that class was on Alfred Russel Wallace. Another one of the reports was on the genetic variants between humans and chimpanzees. Humans and Neanderthals. Right about the time that I was in college. At that time, this was 15 years ago, 16 years ago now. No, not that long ago. God, it was 10 years ago. I'm sorry. 10, 12 years ago. As of 2016. Around that time, it was generally the consensus that humans and Neanderthals did not interbreed. That modern humans do not have Neanderthal ancestors. That Neanderthals were a split from the Homo line before humans split off from the Homo line, and that we were not related other than being cousins. But one of my professor of human evolution at Loyola University in Chicago, which is where I went to school, was Fred Smith. Fred Smith, my professor. I could think of his first name, Fred, but I wanted to say Fred Rogers. I'm like, no, not Fred Rogers. That's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Fred Smith is, I believe the man's still alive. I don't know. He was in his probably 50s or early 60s when he taught at Loyola. Probably in his late 60s, possibly early 70s now. I would assume he's still alive. Possibly he's retired. I'm not sure. But he's one of the foremost experts on Neanderthals in the world. I was very fortunate to be able to study under him as an undergrad. I wasn't even a grad student. He taught our human evolution class, and one of the things that he talked about in our class was how this idea that humans, modern day humans, Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalensis, are completely separate species was bullshit. He was an advocate very early on that Homo neanderthalensis and Homo sapiens should actually be known as Homo sapiens sapiens and Homo sapiens neanderthalensis, that they should be two subspecies of the same species. He believed that we interbred, which now, in 2016, is the scientific consensus, I believe, among the human evolution professionals, that academia now, I think, agrees pretty standard that Neanderthals were a key part of Homo sapiens evolution, and that there are Neanderthal ancestors of modern Homo sapiens, that we interbred as two separate subspecies in Europe. But anyway, at the time, he was one of the he was in the avant-garde of that movement, I guess, of that argument, at a time when it was not largely accepted. So it was very cool to have studied under him and to have learned this stuff from him and have him end up being, judged right in the long run. Or at least in the medium run. Who knows? The history of human evolution changes all the time in terms of what we decided about who was where and who's descended from what and all that stuff. So it could always change in the future, but it seems right now that he's been proved correct. He and his argument have been proved correct. But anyway, there was one particular class session I remember where he ran us through what his research was when he was in Germany. I'm not sure if it was his doctorate work, his thesis, or if it was some work that he had done after he'd received his doctorate. I think it was after he'd received his doctorate, but he showed us a chart of variation between populations of chimpanzees, genetic variation between populations of chimpanzees, which were all considered one species, of course, and it was very widespread. And then he showed us the same genetic data for variation between Homo sapiens, modern Homo sapiens, and Neanderthals, and the spread was narrower. And he was saying, look, if you are considering all of these chimpanzees with this very wide genetic variation, members of the same species, why are Homo sapiens and Neanderthals with a much narrower range of variation considered two separate species? They should be considered one species. If chimpanzees from both of these extremes can mate and have viable offspring, then surely humans and Neanderthals could. And I think that was one of the linchpins of the argument that people accept today. Little digression there, scientific digression, but still, hope you didn't mind sitting through it. I very rarely get to use the information that I gathered in my anthropology education. It's kind of cool to talk about every now and then. And this solar system based on with planets named after famous humans in the realm of biology and the theory of evolution has prompted me to think of it. So there we go. That said, I don't know who the fuck Pauling is. I don't know what this planet's named after. Watson and Crick, I understand. Russell Wallace and Darwin, I understand. Pauling, I don't know who Pauling is. That's probably on me, though. He or she is probably very well known. A hydrogen-methane gas giant, Pauling's gravitational field is believed to have cleared most of what would otherwise have been a sizable asteroid belt. The 2163 mission of the space probe Ultimate, which was named by a 13-year-old apparently, gave the inhabitants of Watson reams of data reinforcing this theory, giving the colonists an accurate count of its moons, 66, rings, moon-like ring objects, and more than 200 impact craters on the surface of its metallic core. Ultimate has since been retrieved for reuse on subsequent missions within the solar system. That's cool. Excuse me. That's very cool. I've sometimes wondered, speaking of probes, human-made probes, I know that like Voyager 1 and 2 and a couple of the Pioneer probes, I think, are floating out in space still, and some of them are even still communicating with Earth. I think both Voyager probes still are communicating with Earth, which is kind of amazing because they were sent out in the mid-70s. I think it's Voyager 1 that is just now, or within the last 5 years or so, passing the helioshock or the heliopause, which is roughly believed to be the edge of the solar system, basically the barrier between our solar system and interstellar space. So it's the first man-made object, Voyager 1, to travel through interstellar space. And so I thought, like, wow, that thing it's out there. It's the farthest thing from Earth, the farthest man-made thing from Earth, and it's still communicating to us. And that sounds awesome, it does. But given how long ago it was launched, and the exit velocity that it had out of the solar system, its propulsion system was very, for lack of a better term, basic. We have better propulsion systems today. We will probably have better propulsion systems 50, 100 years from now. You think that Voyager 1 is way the fuck out there. It's the farthest that's ever anything man-made has ever been from Earth. You think that we'll never see it again. But realistically, we could have propulsion systems in the next 50 years that we'd be able to catch up with Voyager 1 and, bring it back. That would be crazy. I don't know that we'd want to, but it's kind of a cool idea to think about, that just in your head you think, oh, it's the farthest thing from Earth, we'll never catch up with it, it's just gone forever. But the reality is, who knows, 50, 100 years from now we might be able to pass it, we might be able to lap it out in space and send things out even further and faster, because of advances in propulsion technology since then. I don't know. I think that's a kind of a cool idea. Obviously, that's kind of sort of been done in the original Star Trek motion picture. V'ger, spoilers, ends up being Voyager 1, but it's sent back toward Earth by an alien intelligence. We don't actually catch up with it, though clearly we could have, since the Enterprise zips all over the freaking galaxy by that point. Let's see. Pauling, what's this? Skepsis. Is this called skepsis? Is some kind of skepticism root, Latin root base or something? I don't know. Maybe that would explain why they're evolutionary scientists here. They should have to be a little bit skeptical of the predominant view of biological life at the time to be able to advance evolutionary theory. Kaimovitz. I don't know who Kaimovitz is either. Here we go. Name for a fictional person. Name for the 21st century pioneer of groundwater remediation techniques. Well, that's a bit less lustrous than the other gentlemen in this solar system, huh? You have Watson and Crick, the discoverers of the structure of DNA. You have Darwin and Wallace, the discoverers of the theory of freaking natural selection, possibly the most important life science discovery ever made. And then you have this guy who pioneered groundwater remediation techniques. I'm sure that's very important, but perhaps maybe he should have been named in a solar system with, second tier famous humans. I don't know. Is that mean? Maybe that's mean. This is a fictional character. What do I care? Kaimovitz is an impressive layer. I appreciate that he's Polish, so that's good. Or she. Impressive layer of ice over a stony metallic core. Despite its size, it has only one moon, Noah, which shares its carbonaceous composition, leading astronomers to believe it formed following a giant impact. Iridium deposits have attracted miners to the planet who must work through robots and telepresence because of the planet's strong gravity. I presume by telepresence they mean like radio signals and not telepathy. I don't think you could be. I don't remember telepathy being mentioned in this universe at all, the Mass Effect universe, and I don't think you could be telepathic with robots if it was even a factor. And again, I don't know why I'm doing this. Pretty planet though. Skepsis is at 100%. Okay, good. Well, we'll leave this very long digression-causing solar system behind. And we'll move on to wherever Project freaking Firewalker is. Maybe we'll help Zaid too, which makes sense too, because yeah, okay, no, that figures. I sounded like there was a little Jay Leno moment there. It's okay. We'll help Zaid because we just finished the Blue Suns thing, so it's fresh in our minds. Zaid's like, hey, I gotta pay a visit to Vito Santiago. And we're like, okay. We did just finish that Blue Suns thing, so I understand why it's fresh in your mind. And we have Firewalker that we want to tackle so we don't have to traipse around the galaxy twice. Let's do Firewalker first, actually. Right. This is closest. Let's do this first. Hesano. Hesano is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. 200 years ago, an independent Volus prospector found the mangled wreck of a Prothean starship trapped within the trailing Lagrange point. Few artifacts from the wreckage have been recovered. That'd be a huge discovery. The prospector, Lumen Krayop, was canny enough to keep the Hulk's existence to himself. He sold its location to a Turian paleotechnology firm for nearly 1 million credits. I should say so, you could make a lot of money. Since then, Hesano's Lagrange points, rings, and moons have been combed over by fortune hunters seeking to strike it rich the same way. Thus far, no additional artifacts have been recovered. Yes, I would think that'd be a rather lightning in a bottle type of discovery. People who were searching the other Lagrange points were probably wasting their time. In fact, now seem to have been confirmed to be wasting their time. What the hell? It's over here. This is the Alista system, if you were wondering. Malil. Malil is a common ammonia-methane ice giant with 23 moons. It has no particularly distinctive features. Okay, no need to stick around then. Odast. Odast has an abundance of heavy metals and radioactives. It is heavily exploited by mining concerns based on Ilium. 43 years ago, a council spectre arrived to investigate reports that the businesses were selling platinum, a strategic metal, to pirate groups in the Terminus systems. The results of her investigation were never released, but no deaths were reported. I wonder if it couldn't be the spectre that we had to fight as part of the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC. Her name escapes me at the moment. God damn. Rats. I wish I could remember her name. Could have been her, though. 40 years ago, she's an Asari. She'd be probably kicking around for a few centuries at this point. Then again, I think there's a few hundred or possibly more specters. So, could be anybody. Rich? Don't need Rich. Celias. Celias' cratered surface is ancient. Parts of the highlands have been unchanged for nearly 3 billion years. The layers of overlapping craters stand as a testament to the violence of the system's creation. Celias is tidally locked to Alista and has a trace atmosphere of Krypton and Xenon, with helium occasionally blowing in via solar winds. Another rich planet. Okay, this is a good place to check out if we do have to come back for more elements in the future. Ziona! Project
Anomaly
Firewalker.
detected.
Ziona has a thin atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trioxide. Sulfur trioxide is a thing? I didn't know that. Created by volcanic outgassing. There are traces of water vapor in the atmosphere, but over the last 5 centuries of observation, particle counts have decreased 4%. While not habitable by any spacefaring species, there is an abundance of native sulfur-devouring bacteria that thrives around the world's many volcanic vents. Interestingly, these bacterium is the singular, bear genetic similarities to the native life of Ilium, suggesting either a panspermia spread of microbes via asteroids, or accidental contamination of the original environment by careless spacefarers. No beacon, just an anomaly.
Probe launched. Something on our sensors.
Scans have located the Hammerhead exploration vehicle and also show active data storage sites that may contain information as to the whereabouts of Doctors Case and Aloy. That's right, this is Cerberus operation. These doctors, I think, are Cerberus doctors. Or is this Alliance? I think it's Cerberus. But still, as much as I don't like to help Cerberus, it might be good to get our hands on this stuff. Morden and Grunt, what the hell? Don't think that they matter too much in this mission. Oh my gosh, Grunt. Save it for fortification. Cryoblast, I think. We'll do full cryoblast, which is the area of effect, right? Impact radius 1.2. No! Yeah, full cryo, yeah. Up here, here, let's look. Full cryoblast is listed as option 1, which is the area of effect one, which is unusual because usually the area of effect is always the second one. So when I hit purchase rank and came here, I expected it to be this one, since it was listed as 1 on that menu, but it's not. It's down here. Recharge time is the same. Freeze duration is decreased by 2 seconds, though, to get the impact radius. That's fine. Area of effect, I think, is very effective in this game. The only thing that I have not used it for, intentionally did not choose, intentionally re-chose, actually, was my own charge power, because I'm not particularly good at charging multiple enemies who have their shields and armor down. However, I could still see the effectiveness of doing it that way. So yeah, I think in all cases I would prefer to take the area of effect power. Whoa! Fucking awesome.
Conrad,
We'll stay close.
behind you.
I don't think the ship is safe. We've run into the Geth far too often. I'm going to stay
Who's
at the next
talking?
site with Dr. Aloy. I think we'll be safer there.
Who the fuck is talking? Oh, mama. Normandy, this is Shepard, requesting you send the shuttle back down with my box of cassette tapes. Going for a ride.
Primary systems online. Welcome to the M44 Hammerhead Infantry Fighting Vehicle. This is your onboard VI.
Alright.
Guided missile system active.
Thank you. Morden? Prepare to learn a lot more about Earth music than you ever expected to know. What am I doing here? Should I not figure out what I'm supposed to do first? Apparently I'm supposed to do this.
Mission objectives located. Acquired.
Whoa, okay. I'm a little rough. Apologies, guys. Am I looking at? Yeah!
Is now clear.
Get your motor running. Bow, 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 bow. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Well, darling, gonna make it happen. Set the world in a love embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. I like smoking lightning. Heavy metal thunder. Bum-ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, it's up there. And this feeling that I'm under. Yeah, darling, gonna make it happen. Set the world in a love embrace. Whoa! Fire all of your guns at once and explode. Where am I supposed to go? Explode into space. Like a true nature's child. We were born to be wild. Apparently not up here. Whoa. Fly so high. Oh, there we go. I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Well, it's easier to go higher than it is to go lower, right? Woo! Rock and roll! Whoops! Wrong button. Yeah, this is definitely Cerberus. It's got the markings.
Found it.
Didn't hear that. Sorry. Fuck yeah!
Objective complete.
Huzzah!
Mission objectives completed.
Okay, let's get out of here then. Yeah, I kinda... Okay, I mean, I get it. Hammerhead missions, they're kinda fun. Kinda basic, kinda fun though. Really, I think Shepard's just pumped to have his own vehicle to play music in. Found wreckage of freighter MSV Rosalie. M44 Hammerhead acquired. Recovered research data. 156 experience gained and 15,000 credits earned. What do you got for me, Chambers?
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
Yes, Commander. Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Thanks. Prototype recovered. From Project Firewalker. Good work on recovering the Hammerhead in one piece, Commander. It will prove useful. Also, the data you recovered from the MSV Rosalie's emergency beacon contained significant intel on a few planets that Dr. Case and Dr. Oloy investigated. EDI has added the locations to your galaxy map. We hope that one of them leads you to the Prothean site. Despite Dr. Case's obvious instability, he's proven to be a brilliant and dedicated scientist. If you salvage more of his logs or journals, it would greatly help our efforts. We still don't know how the Geth are tracking Dr. Case, so be careful. The Geth! My god. Mark as read, please.